All right. Remember, everybody, just because you became a dad,
Does not mean it's game over.
unless you're playing with Trevor.
That's right. Then it's a lot of game overs.
It's like it's constant game overs.
Please help me. I'm dead again.
Really? Really? The shock. I'm telling you, I hope he clipped it because it's just like the disbelief. It's like real, like honestly, you're dead again.
I really wanted a trophy to pop on because I was playing on PlayStation. You were on PC. I was just like, there's got to be something for this.
Yeah. Put the entire team on your back like a champion and carry
Yeah.
They call me the garbage man. What? Why? Because I'm used to picking up trash.
The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. It's a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives.
My name is Trevor, and I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Each week, we try to show that just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
And as the dad with the forthcoming Christmas, what of the lesser gifts will you be giving to your kids from Santa?
This is where the conversation, we always have to make a list. We're like, all right, again, Santa doesn't get the real credit, right? The parents should get the credit. And Santa gives like little gift that is like the secondary thought.
Exactly.
So, but Santa's still pretty cool, right? So I think Santa is going to give them some Pokemon cards. Just saying.
Ooh, fancy.
Santa makes a lot of Pokemon cards.
There'll be something because it presents some magic. I don't know if this is a modern phenomenon. I should ask my dad, like his take towards it. But it's just always that balance where it's like, look, we want to have some magic and everything. But I'm the one who bought this.
Right. I want some reality. Yeah.
So I want you to have a good memory. Like, oh, my parents got me this thing. This is wonderful. As opposed to every year, Santa takes care of me. I don't know what you got. What have you guys done for me lately? But Santa's great.
Exactly. Yeah. All the parents give them like, well, this is the stuff you need. The sweaters, the pants, bedding. And then Santa gives the cool gift. No.
Yeah, Santa got you socks. Santa's practical.
Yeah. That's right.
But last week, thanks to everybody who joined us, Jeff and I did a live stream. We were trying to play around with a new streaming software. We switched up our output, trying out Streamlabs now. So that'll help with the recording of the show, as well as trying to go live a little bit for some Gaming Dad sessions. Started with what might be the very last time Jeff ever decides to play a game with me. Is it describe your experience playing a game with me, Jeff?
Well, we're both new to the game, so just get that out of the way. Some leeway, some flexibility. But I don't want to say that I was carrying the team, but
let's just say my shoulders are pretty tired right now.
There was a lot of like reviving that had to happen. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's been a while. We were saying on the stream that we've probably never done this in the entirety of the show, maybe the first or second time. So it was great to get together and stream and do it within Path of Exile too. So even just a brand new game, right? So
it was I hope you had, despite the carrying.
I did have fun. I did have fun. Yes, it was enjoyable. I don't mind beating a boss myself while you're lifeless corpse.
and it's like, that sounds like, oh, Jeff's being mean. No, he beat, let's say we went after 5 bosses. Jeff beat 4 of them by himself. Like, I mean, it was twice I said, oh, okay, I'm dead. He's like, no, you're not. There's no way. Really?
Like the fight just started. What do you mean you're dead?
How are you already dead? And we're the same level. Like, theoretically, I'm the beefier character. Like, I'm doing a warrior class or whatever, so I should be able to take a bit. And just never once. It was frustrating, embarrassing. Yeah, I was concerned. It's like this might be the very first and last stream we ever do, given how poor the performance was.
I did save a lot of clips, even just for like evidence later that we can just reflect back on. Yes. But yeah, no, you were definitely the tank. I think you just walked into too much of the fire, and then you see me dodge rolling all around the boss.
Yeah,
it was a good time though.
misunderstood it, but it was fantastic. I will say, like, Path of Exile held up. Path of Exile 2, we both pre-purchased it in the playable state.
Yeah.
We'd already talked about the bizarre circumstance with which is coming out, where it's a free-to-play game, but if you want to play it in the beta early stages, you can pay for the privilege to play the unfinished version. But
yeah, it's against all our rules.
But much like you said, like it is a game. Like it is polished. It is fun. Like I'm sure there's gonna be some jank. Or they'll do some balancing type stuff. I'm sure the end game for folks who care about such a thing is gonna get tighter. But what an absolute time! Thanks everybody for joining us on the show, on the live recording. It was an absolute blast, and so I think it ends up being a recommendation for gaming dads who have that Diablo itch, and it'll be especially easy to recommend.
Yeah.
Like if you have the means and you want to dive in, like go for it for sure. Like I think we had a great time with it, but it's going to be free.
Yeah.
So if your game budget's been a bit stretched this year, it's going to be a super easy recommendation once it comes out for free.
Oh, for sure. And we haven't seen any, like, there doesn't seem to be a paywall thing in it yet. I think all the paid stuff that will be there is just cosmetic. So it's just this full game. And again, we had a great time with it. So when it's free to play, absolutely just dive in, see if it works with your system, right? Like there's no risk involved. So
yeah, dive in, folks. And speaking of diving, at least perhaps off the top rope, the cha-cha did it. My household has certainly been taken over by WWE 2K24.
Wow.
The kids are adoring this game. And it all came from, this is, as we've mentioned numerous times, like this is the wonderful power of demos. Because what happened is, so my kids have seen this game before and they've feigned some interest. We started in the household to watch some wrestling, which tends to be like, for anybody who remembers wrestling in their teens, perhaps, depending on your age, if you're roughly around us, like it got pretty raunchy as far as like bra and panty match and just like swearing and beer and type of thing. It is very much it's borderline PG, honestly.
Oh.
So if you're kind of looking maybe to dip in again, if it's something you enjoy and you have kids who are slightly older, it's a great time. Like they've never had a better product. It's a lot of fun. We'd started to watch it. They've seen the game before and they've seen it just on the Xbox. So it's like, hey, can we get this? Can we play this? Can we play this? And lo and behold, one day they just install it.
Oh,
and it's like, did you get my credit card? Did you purchase this? Because you're not supposed to do that.
right. Oh God. Oh no.
But I come to learn it was a free weekend or a free play days, call it like 5 or 6 days.
Nice.
So what ensues though was like 4 to 5 just solid days of a couple matches here and there with these kids, and it just hit. It was great. Like so, like we're doing these like tornado tag matches. We're on the ring at the same time. We're battling people. Like they're creating their characters. Like it just front to back. It's one of those games, and I'm sure every parent will know it. Just where it just settles into the family dynamic of that moment. And they were just having a blast. Absolute fun. Great multiplayer. All local. You can do online matches, but I mean, like there's like up to 4 players locally.
Yeah. So how does that work? Like you were all in the same team, or did they battle each other and there's no tiers, or what's happening?
There was a few instances like that. Their favorite thing to do was to be on the same team.
Okay. All right.
So they do like it being us as a team battling the other folks.
Gotcha.
And they always want to be, they don't want to like tag one at a time. So they always want to be on a tag. So be on a tag team together. So it's called a tornado tag match where 3 people in the ring versus 3 people in the ring, chaos ensues. So yeah, it's just great game. So a couple mentions there. So number 1, if you as a gaming dad used to watch wrestling, maybe check it out again. It's gotten like really good recently. A lot of fun. This game itself, tons of fun. Like really well done. It's somewhat approachable. Like my youngest, like 7, like he really had no issue kind of picking it up.
Okay.
They've done a good job. It's a really good presentation. It's fun. And then again, like just another like a call to the industry, like please keep going with demos and these like free play type weekends because it moves the needle.
Yeah. Again, I think I'll always advocate for a demo, even just to try it out, see if it vibes with everybody in your family. So it's good that this one hit, right? And there's no like, can you purchase it in game? So can they just press like X and then all of a sudden you have the game? I guess not, eh?
No, you have to go through the usual thing. The good news is what I was concerned about. half concerned. It's a meaty one. It's like some 60 gigs.
Oh, wow.
It's a big old
Okay.
game. Well, there's a lot of like music and entrances and like photos and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a beefy boy.
Yeah.
And in the purchase version, it seemed like it is an entirely separate game in the store.
Oh.
And I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, are you going to make me download an
The whole
entire
game?
60 gig new game just because it's a purchase version? Thankfully not. We avoided it, but what an absolute blast. So anyways, dad recommendation for this one, if you're at all kind of like around the edges around this, like wrestling, it's a fun one. And call the industry, keep doing demos, please. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now this sort of ties into what I'll call Christmas situation, if we will.
Okay.
So one of the asks for the kids, because they've been asking, like, we started getting to wrestling a bit, is they wanted belts. They wanted to have wrestling belts.
Like the championship belt or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like the big, okay.
Now, most notably, it was my youngest. He was really pushing for a belt, right? Like, it's like, oh, I really want a belt, really want a belt. And it's a perfect Christmas gift because it's dumb, but it's fun. And you can find there's a decent one online for like $30. So it's like,
you put it up on a ladder. You're like, go up and get it.
Yeah. And I give him this spear, like, no, not in this house.
Making an event, an experience.
You got to earn belts in this house, damn it. So, where it ended up going, so the situation becomes what. So my youngest is more asking for it. It's actually in the perfect range. All of the family kids do a Secret Santa. Okay. So there's just too many kids at some point. So it's like, all right, every kid will get another kid, a cousin, and we'll do a Secret Santa between them all. And that's how we'll kind of cover everybody. It's a bit of fun. Cool. This was his Secret Santa. Oh. And I know that, and it happened to, like, I learned accordingly that they did get this for him, my youngest.
Nice.
Over the past couple weeks, the oldest has been laying it on thick how excited he is to get his belt as well. It's like, oh man, when we get this belt, this is going to be great. Me and my brother are going to be able to run around with our 2 belts, just two bros, 2 belts, best time ever. Can't wait for Christmas. It's like, because the scenario, like, I want everyone to like think through this, and maybe you'll have the solution. We're gonna solve it. I just need to figure out the best possible way.
Okay.
Because our Christmas will happen on the 25th.
Right.
The extended family Christmas, where the belts will be, where like the Secret Santa gifts and this belt will happen, is on the 27th.
Okay.
But my oldest, I would directly be gifting my oldest, but not the youngest is not going to get it from me.
You're
so
right.
I can't give it to him. I can't gift him the belt on Christmas.
No, he can't receive it first.
Because then the youngest is like, what the heck? Where's mine? He got it, not me. Christmas is ruined. Oh no.
Right. Okay.
But then on the 27th, when everybody else is doing their Secret Santa stuff, I can't at that point also say, oh, and by the way, here's an extra gift from me. Here's a belt.
No, I can't do that.
Ruins the whole. Why does he get a second one? Like, and now there's all the cousins. So it's like, why does he get 2 gifts and I only get this one? And maybe he's more interested in this belt as opposed to the actual Secret Santa gift he's going to be getting.
Yeah.
So I'm in a quandary, my man.
It kind of goes along with the belt, though. There can only be one, and you have to kind of like, wrestle for it. So maybe next year he gets the belt. This is tough. Yeah. Okay.
So my thinking on this has been, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I am thinking to just level with him and like play it straight. And I think I almost have to do it before Christmas so he doesn't get upset on Christmas morning. Where it's like I bring him aside. It's like, okay, listen. Here's what happened. You are going to get, we got you a wrestling belt, but it came in later. Your brother is going to get his belt from his Secret Santa, but I can't make him angry by giving you yours on Christmas. So I will give it to you after Secret Santa that day, like when we leave. So just
Yeah.
don't be upset. Be cool. You will get a belt. It's just not coming till after the party. And then just hope like that maintains. Am I mental for thinking that's gonna actually work? Is that like it's a lot to place on a 9-year-old during the Christmas holidays?
It really is, because I'm like, it's a roll of the dice. I'm just thinking like, okay, everybody's sitting down. The Secret Santa like is passed around. The youngest gets the belt, right? And then dry ice. The oldest comes in, and no, like just, just I can't believe this is happening. Yeah,
And
I
then
don't know, man. Like it could go one of two ways. My kids, like my youngest, would totally be like, I understand, not a problem. My oldest, at that time, that would be tears, or they'd run off and tell the youngest, hey, you're getting this, and I kind of
it's
hate
like
you for it.
because that's the thing. Like he would have, and the thing is too, like what the really wild dynamic of it is that the youngest also wants the oldest to have it. The youngest, who will receive it on Christmas morning,
Oh,
wants his older brother to also have it. So that the
right.
two of them, so he's excited for that dynamic. It's like, yay, we're both gonna have it. And then come Christmas, my oldest is not gonna get it. And my youngest will almost be disappointed in the fact he didn't. And it's just like,
Man, you
I
really
know, I know.
this is a tough one. Okay, hold on. Who's giving the Secret Santa gift? Like, is it like a grandparent or something? I missed.
That's a nephew of mine. So a cousin.
Okay. Could you swap out that gift? Could be like, hey, I bought Pokemon cards. Give this to them first, and then you take the belt. And then both of them receive
Yeah.
it after. I don't know. It just seems like it
I
might
thought
be
about that
okay.
too, which it's just I think I'm gonna have to go that SK. My challenge with that is, and they would do it. The family, they're all very cool, they're very supportive. It'd kind of be fine. But
But
their
they thought
kid
of
who
it.
got mine was part of like the decision, and then they purchased
Okay.
it. But then because of my mess up and my drama, they're gonna have to,
Right.
you know.
Okay.
So
Well, let
I think,
them give it. See what happens.
yeah, if
Come
he
back
gets
and tell
like,
us. It's gonna be from like the
yeah,
top rope. Like
I think
everything is gonna go
I think the
nuts.
thing I can count on is the fact that the chaos of Secret Santa, the number of people there, there's going to be gifts. Hopefully, that just clouds their judgment, and then everyone just kind of moves on, and it doesn't
Yeah.
cause a scene. It will be fine.
Okay.
I
Good.
think it's going to be.
Well,
It's just like I said. I'm almost just laughing at best part is like it's such a like a first world problem to have. Well, I
yeah.
got my one child a WWE belt. Like, what am
Right.
I going to do about the other? However, I just want to ensure that they have a good time and there's no unnecessary drama because of my misplanning. But I think it's going to be fine. We'll see how it goes.
I'm hoping for you. Otherwise, don't tag me in. You can just take that by yourself. That's it.
Oh man. So hey, gaming dads, if you ever had a similar type of gift scenario where you were racking your brain for a solution, write into us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Now, one way to have done it would have been if my child had just gone directly to my parents or grandparents and demanded certain gifts just to get what they please. And it sounds like you have one such story.
Yeah. So again, my oldest does not listen to this podcast yet, but
That you're aware
when
of.
they do, when they reflect back on what was dad talking about all these years, this story is when we parents said no to a gaming keyboard for their
Mhm.
laptop, mainly out of space. They don't have space. They have this small desk that's already like filled with laptops and other crap that sits there. They don't have room for a keyboard. So we've said no, not until like we go to the next stage and maybe there's more room, whatever. So my 14-year-old didn't like that answer and apparently put it, so they have their own cell phone, texted grandma saying, this
Wow.
is my Christmas list. And here are the items, specifically this one gaming keyboard. Here's the Amazon link, and this is the reason why I love it. And blah blah blah.
Whoa.
Bullet points, really laying it on thick, man. And it is not cheap. It is probably like $100 on sale keyboard, which is insane.
That's
And
crazy.
the
Well,
right.
I cut you off. Sorry, keep going. That's just like I'm blown away.
Well, it's just we only found out about it because grandma checks in and be like, oh, is there anything else I can get them? And we ask, oh, what do you have already? Just in case we don't duplicate whatever. well, there's this gaming keyboard. I'm like, oh my God. Like, again, we just look at each other saying, we told them no, but can't, like, gotta respect the game. Like, they went out. They did all the steps that we would normally ask them to do anyway. Like, how would you have a problem? How would you solve it? How would you go about it? Right. So those are the skills you teach your kids. And then they unknowingly use those same skills that you would say, oh, that's very great. Thank you for figuring out a solution to this situation where you're like, well, you should have kind of listened to us. And we're not like trying to be mean parents. You just don't have space. So anyway, it's just, I don't know.
It's like, yeah, so you have to respect the game. That's absolutely fantastic. I do like how they did, and they also did it in such a way as you've instructed, like researched, reasonable,
Right.
like next steps. Like they have all of it ready to go. But just the secondary challenge of that is that them know you can't have this. And then they find a way to get it anyways. And now you have this. It's a gift of love from your grandparents, and that's wonderful. So I can't necessarily take that back, but you defied me.
Yeah.
That's not a great look. It's not that they demanded it, but they also kind of knew what was going to happen.
Again, they knew that decision tree that you get in video games. You're like, well, if this character says no, I got to go after this character and get the same thing. But yeah, it was, and then it was also too close to even the holidays where we could have requested grandma returns it and then get something else, but it's too late now. So it's just, that's what they're going to get. And we're going to have, I guess we're going to have a gaming keyboard in the house. I don't know.
You have to try with your Steam Deck. See how you're like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. Good choice, my child.
That's right. The only space for it is around the Steam Deck. It's not with your computer. Sorry, this is where it stays.
So how would you? I'll be like honest. Like I had very little direct contact with my grandparents. Like I could probably have looked up their number in the family phone book, but I did not have a direct line. Like grandma was who we saw at like family dinners and gatherings and number of times a year. But like it is kind of, I don't know what your relationship to your grandparents were, but I did not have that like direct line in to grandma to be making requests like this.
I definitely did not. It would be like the 3-4 times a year that we'd see grandma, and definitely at Christmas. Like I knew my parents bought me the gifts and just put grandma's name on it because I would see them go into the van as we were loading up to go to grandma's. So I definitely did not get those kind of like, again, my 14-year-old just texted directly and goes over to their house, walks her dog. So like this is a whole thing, a whole event that they've arranged to just get grandma to buy them a keyboard, which is again, okay.
As this podcast proceeds, like it's going to be curious if we're able to keep it going until we have grandkids.
Oh yeah,
which is at least 10, hopefully 20.
I'm hoping.
Depending on how our parenting goes, it's either 10 to 20 years, more likely 20. It does feel a little bit new. Because what I mean by that is like my grandparents, like she was one of like 12 kids.
Whoa. Okay,
and they all went on to have kids. You know what I mean? So like a gift from grandma wasn't really a thing. Like sometimes her birthdays, I can remember them, but it's sort of like pretty small. It kind of feels like, and I'm sure there's like, obviously there's 100 different arrangements for families. So some only had a couple for sure. But it almost feels like there probably is. We'd have to get we should get like a grandpa on for gaming.
Yeah.
But it feels like there would be some degree of like increased pressure on grandparents in a modern context around like the thought again. The sentence was, so my kid texted my mom, with their order for Christmas.
Yeah,
and she proceeded to get it, which that's a wild sentence, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where you're like, all right, that's what we, even just creating those lists, like we have sat down our kids and be like, you can make a list of what you would like for Christmas. It doesn't mean like it's a task list for us or Santa to give you, right? You're not going to get everything. You might get things similar. You might get things that are far away from it, but it's just about giving, right? It's not about the receiving part of it. So I'm just hoping it was framed in this instance, it was framed as like, oh, you want to give me a gift? Well, here it is. And this is all the things that go along with it and why I want it. So I don't know. It's like a sales pitch.
Oh, kids are getting better at digital presentations. Grandparents feeling the pressure to deliver.
It's true.
That's what we're getting. Oh, and may all be merry and bright.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. Hey, gaming dads, have you had a situation with your parents where they were pitched by your kids? You said no, your parents said yes. Tale as old as time. Grandparents are for spoiling, but we'd love to hear the stories. If you're right into us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. We'll wrap it up here for the week. If you like the show, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. You can go ahead and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Caster, Spotify, anywhere where you find a podcast. Just search for New Dad Gaming. If you do, what really helps out the show is if you can go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment or a rating. Helps blast it out to all the gaming dads. Ideally, Jeff can find a gaming partner that pulls his own weight.
Yeah.
It's just
Maybe not melee. Just don't not a melee partner.
Yeah. He's never playing endgame with this character. Let's put it that with this with this companion. Let's put it that way. But do reach out. And speaking of reaching out, you can find us on all the socials at New Dad Gaming or New Dad Gaming Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Do join us on Twitch as we do a couple more streams in the coming new year. And yeah, send in the stories, send in the notes at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Absolutely adore hearing from fellow gaming dads. Always want to feature your stories on air. So hope to hear from you. Everybody, once again, thank you so much for listening. And until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old.
All right. Remember, everybody, just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
Unless you're playing with Trevor.
That's right. Then it's a lot of game overs.
It's like it's constant game overs.
Please help me. I'm dead again.
Really? The shock at you. I'm telling you, I hope he clipped it because it's just like the disbelief. It's like real, like honestly, you're dead again.
I really wanted a trophy to pop on because I was playing on PlayStation. You were on PC. I was just like, there's got to be something for this.
Yeah, put the entire team on your back like a champion and carry.
Yeah.
They call me the garbage man. What? Why? Because I'm used to picking up trash. All right. See you next week.
See you later.